All right, and welcome to everybody out there. Today's topic, we're going to speak about living in the moment. Now, I find this a very interesting topic because my brother over there, Mr. Schmidt, just brought up before this that there is no past, there is no future, you're only in the moment. And as you can see before me, I have no notes, so this is just an off topic or just a discussion between two brothers that we thought that we would share with y'all. So we're bringing y'all into this. So, with that being said, that there is only in the moment. Now, how do we plan for these in the moment moments? Because I think it's important for preparation to enjoy certain moments accordingly. Because we have had all day retreats out here at the farm with the church where we have needed preparation for, say, a meditation out on the island, or we'll come back later for some, good book study, be well hydrated. And I think that we can prepare and think and plan for the future and bring up past notes and future to combine it for the in the moment experience where it's not just, this is the moment, this second, well, that one's gone. I think that we can make our in the moment experience better when we recall the past and prepare for the future. So, my point of living in the moment is I think there has to be a mix of everything. There has to be preparation for the future, there has to be recalling to the past of the times that you knew you had a good time and you recall that and you make something similar. Whereas I think what you're thinking of is in the moment. Like a lot of people think, this is the only moment we have, so let's enjoy it. But I think there's better ways and more efficient ways to experience the in the moment.
I love this topic. I think it is such a fantastic philosophical discussion. If you look at or think about your past, a lot of people live in the past.
Oh, for sure.
Someone hurt them, someone cheated on them, there was a tragedy. There's certain things that happen in people's lives where they can't pull themselves out of those moments. Post traumatic stress disorder with all sorts of people. So you are using your now to live in an abstraction that was real, that caused mental and emotional uh, harm to you and left scars, and you haven't been able to enjoy your moment of breathing and eating and loving now. But you're still in the now. You are polluting it with now um, things that happened then. Your memory is skewed. You don't. You never fully remember everything the way it happened, nor do you remember every moment. It's just the bigger ideas or the bigger events that you really recall. So the past is elusive and it's over. The future is only an idea. It is you can't get anywhere you want to go in life without some planning, like you said. That's important. But as we know from planning, I've planned out many things in my life, like most of you have, and well, plans just don't work out. Uh, they sort of kind of do in a roundabout way, but it's never a straight line. I am planning out this today. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do this, and then check, I'm going to do that, and then everything's going to work out just perfect at the end of the day. No, it never works out that way. Yeah, I mean, you can get to your destination, but
I don't know. I think you're living in the past on past experiences of days that did not go to plan, because I've had days where I was like, man, this day worked out perfect. I couldn't have planned it any better.
well, we have had those days. Me and you've had those days in traveling the world. Uh, but it still is it's so pointless uh, to think on any level that I'm going to plan this out and it's going to go exactly that way, because more often than not it does not do that. And
Now that, sir, is true. But sometimes the plans and detours turn out better than the original plan.
That is true.
But only if you live, like you said, in the moment and you accept that change for the good.
Yeah, you have to, and it's kind of like what we were talking about in our previous video that I highly encourage y'all to watch about disturbances. So if your future plans in the now get disturbed, you have to be able to deal with it.
See, I think about two instances just in your life. One is the time that you got caught in Verona and it turned out to be a disturbance and didn't go to plan. And secondly is the time that we were in Argentina. And if y'all would love to hear this story, I would like to tell it. My brother and I, we were going through Argentina, not speaking any Spanish. So we're going from Buenos Aires all the way up to the top to a place called Cavajate. And so we're driving. They have these little checkpoints all over the road where they're basically looking at your car, seeing if you have your inspection certificate for your car and to make sure you have your lights on. Well, my brother here is driving, and I'm
Well, pre-qualified that Argentina, for whatever reason, it's a really big deal that you always have your headlights on.
really big deal. And we're traveling a long way. I believe it's like 1,800 miles across country. It's a long way. So he's driving, and we pull up to this checkpoint, and they wave us over to the side. And I think it's going to be no big deal. I'm sitting in the car. They ask my brother to step out. He goes into this little concrete bunker that's probably 10 by 10 by 10. Well, he comes back out all frustrated. Like, oh, man, they're trying to do something for us. He's counting out all this money. And if you've ever seen the Argentine peso to U.S. dollar, right now it's like, I don't know, 40 to 1. So it looks like you're dropping thousands of dollars for what would have been almost a $200 fine, which is still a lot of money. So he gets about halfway through counting it. He's like, screw this. Just follow me. Just go with it. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I've never seen the inside of an Argentine prison, so well, let's go for it. So we pull up, we go out to this bunker, and it's just us, these two big gringos. And there's these 3 armed guards with AK-47s. And my brother over here, in his infinite wisdom, pulls out his cell phone, grabs this guard, and we're trying to take a selfie with him. And these officers are not liking it at all because I'm pretty sure they were trying to roll us. So they were trying to just get money for no reason because they saw 2 gringos. And we're just trying to get a picture with them, and we're having a good time. We're laughing, we're playing. And finally, one of the guys, probably the lead officer, he knows one word of Spanish. Or English, rather. He knows one word, and his word is free. Free, just free, get out. So he just wants to see the back of us. And as we're driving away, we're thinking, man, that turned out really good. And we're sitting there trying to discover why we even got pulled over in the first place. And he says, Lucis or something. And between the both of us, our Spanish is, Kevin says there's something about Monday. And I'm like, no, Lucis is lights. So we didn't have the lights on. So that's one of the times that we completely and utterly accepted living in the moment. That could have turned out really poor. We could have got upset about it, or we could have just had a down, bad day and put a dent on the rest of our trip where we're just like, can't believe those cops tried to roll us, or they did roll us. We turned it into a wonderful memory where one of the cops actually did get the phone in the end and took a picture of just us in front of the concrete bunker. And it turned out to be a wonderful memory from us just accepting and living in the moment.
Which is really, I don't know if it's funny, but it's an interesting note that right before that, I just said, we're living in a memory. This is a great memory. And then, this event happens. And you are right. If you have a tendency to be really negative, that could have been a really bad situation. It is extraordinary what a smile and a happy persona gets. Even those police officers were having no part of happiness, no part of selfies, no part of any of that. They just want free. But our smiling and laughing and being lighthearted changed the whole scenario, because I was getting pretty irritated that we were getting rolled and having to pay, knowing it's going right into their pocket. And, it's easy as a man, especially, I think, a physical man, and especially one that practices a lot of martial arts, and you're just thinking, I've about had enough of you, pal. You backed me into the corner enough. Now you're trying to steal from me. So living in the now and recognizing, okay, right now I'm getting irritated. Right now I need to change and flip it to be happy. And so you have to recognize that we're always in the now. We always are in this mood, whether it's positive or negative, and we need to say, okay, let's be on the positive side instead of negative. But we planned that trip. We planned the future. We planned to go down this road. And so as each little now takes place, we just go down that road not knowing what's going to happen. We didn't know that, the scenery was going to change so dramatically everywhere. We're going to need to just slow down, or I needed to drive because I don't like driving in mountains, or I don't like riding in mountains.
Yeah. Another quick little side note, speaking of living in the now, we pull up to a mountain. And when I say we pull up to a mountain, if you've never been to Argentina, the countryside changes like a cartoon. Like you're the road runner and all of a sudden you're at the end of the page. Like goes from a salt flat to 2 bushes and you're in the jungle, and then all of a sudden there's a mountain that just like you're there. We pull up to this mountain and Kevin's like, I need to drive. And I'm like, Okay. I took a nap and he was just like, I don't see the bottom over there.
Yeah, I don't like the mountain driving at all. Well, I'd rather be driving than being the passenger. But that is the whole point of being in the now. I recognize my own insecurities about not being able to handle being a passenger very well. And Trey took it jovially and just laughing and thought it was funny. And yeah, sure, you drive,
Yeah, okay.
But I think that is those life lessons that we're talking about, is that it's important to not let things just bother you in the now. Like all we have is right now. So, if you're stressed out about something that you think is going to happen tomorrow, there's a big likelihood that whatever that event is not going to be as bad or as good as you thought it was going to be. No matter what it is, some people make a big deal out of their birthday, so they have a big birthday party. It's normally not as fun as they thought it to be, or people plan out in great detail their travel plans because, they waited all year or 2 years for this one vacation, so they get all stressed up and worked about it in the now. The now has finally came. All of that planning is finally culminated in you getting on a plane or a boat or whatever, going to wherever. And then they end up ruining it because one thing didn't go to plan. One thing may have been late. You didn't catch the train, or you didn't, whatever the case may be, and get real bent out of shape and mess up their now. And then that now was supposed to be a big grand memory for them, and now they're staining it. The now is fluid, and it's quick.
That's true. I think one of those things that you said about all the planning and this didn't go to plan is I think you should be willing to alter your now. You had the plan. Well, that didn't work out. Well, instead of staying in the now moment and staying angry in the now, you recognize your new now is, well, that's past. That's why we don't go on vacations. We go on holiday. Big difference out there.
Big difference. And I think, I don't remember where we were traveling to, but we were going somewhere outside of the country, and what was it? Our flight was late, or we got
we got turned around. We were in the air, and they had another light come on, and we're 2 hours in the flight.
Yeah,
and they turn us around another 2 hours back and land, and I think it's like midnight, and the only place open is a Whataburger, and we're in this hotel, and we lose a whole day off the trip, and
that's how we started the trip. I think, where were we going?
That was to Argentina.
Yeah,
because we landed on Halloween Day is when we actually got there. We were supposed to get there really 2 days. We almost lost 2 days on that trip.
So
Really.
that is a good example about how you can plan something. It doesn't work out. Most people, I think, would be so bent out of shape that, okay, I took off, this amount of time for this trip, and all of a sudden this is happening. I got to stay in this crappy hotel with no food, and those things can really, all the simplest things in life, whether they're first world problems or third world problems, you got to learn how to take things in the now with a grain of salt. And okay, well, I'm still traveling. We're still out of town. we're still enjoying each other's company, and you have to make light of it and have a good time.
But it did teach us something. For instance, I always do carry on, and my brother's like, well, just put the bags under the plane. Well, I had all the toothbrushes and the underwear and things to get back on the plane. Worked out perfect. See, I had the planning. He was in the moment, and we came together. We had a meshing of realities.
I was in the now. He was the planner.
Yeah. See, so now we plan to take at least a change of underwear and a change of clothes on the plane, and then we have the rest of the stuff.
I'm just glad in that now he did not lose his bag.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
See?
Because that then now turned out to be our future, present, past memory of then.
Now.
Exactly. Which is now gone.
This is a fun conversation. Thank y'all for joining us. It is true, though, that the past can, some people say we're the mound, the accumulation of our past. We are our past, and I don't subscribe to that notion. I think that the past certainly influences some people's behavior, but it does influence how we perceive things. Like if you've gotten heartbroken for whatever reason, whatever, there's scars that happen to us all. So if you got that, it can make you skittish of certain things, and maybe if you don't want to fall in love, or you don't want to, you're standoffish for whatever reason because of the past. I had teachers that said I would never be able to read, but I'm an avid reader. Doesn't mean I retain a lot, but but it's true. So you can't really. It's impossible to live in the past. It's impossible to live in the future. The future is hope.
Well, I think there's a lot of people that do live only in the past and really forget most of their life. And I think there's also a lot of people that live only in the future and miss out on a lot of life too. So I would disagree with you there that there are groups of people that only live in the past and only live in the present and miss.
I say that they don't live in the present.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't live in it, which is the whole point, is to recognize the best you can on a regular basis all day is, hey, this is my moment. I don't have later. I don't need to put this thing off. I don't need to wait and try to do this tomorrow. You just don't know. Whatever it is that you need to do it now. You're in the now. If you're with people that you love and care about, well, hug them because you're right there in the now. Talk to them, communicate, laugh, cry. Do the things that make us human and enjoy that moment, that now. And that is just really the point of us discussing that now. And in the now, if you need to be in the now by going to BitChute or mysticsofTexas.com, all of our other videos, and watching them and enjoy them, and hopefully gain some level of wisdom and fun with us. And Mr. Schmidt, you can sign us out if you'd like, or continue on.
I think that is all we have today. I thank everyone for watching. Subscribe, thumbs up us, and have a good day.